Hello, good morning, and welcome to the sports segment on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. My name is Owuraku Ampofo, and we'll be reviewing the biggest sport in action from Thursday and also look ahead to what should be a big weekend, especially for the national teams. And we'll be beginning with the Black Meteors, who play a must-win game against Guinea tonight. Now, Ghana's under-23 team will qualify to the semi-finals of the under-23 Africa Cup of Nations if they beat Guinea, and head coach Ibrahim Tanko says that he has a strategy to ensure the team gets the much needed results tonight.
A lot of different players, and we watch the Guineas 2 games, and definitely we are going to make the best 11 that we think they can beat Guinea. Definitely we are going to make some changes, and then we hope that these changes will help us to achieve our goal. Like I said before, it's very important for us. If we win, we are to the next stage. So that's what we are here to do. And since after the game, we watch the Guinea, we train, and the boys are ready. I mean, they also saw how the Guineas are playing. So definitely, we are going to map our strategy and that we can win the game tomorrow. Yeah, well, I think I can't say much about the referees. We have the VAR, which is helping them, and I don't think all the games there has been any bad decision from the referees. So I hope that tomorrow will be the same. I mean, they are human, even though we have the VAR. I think they are doing a very good job. We just have to concentrate to play our game and then leave the referees alone.
There's none that we come to the end of this pre-match press conference.
Now, despite the 5-1 thrashing by host Morocco, Ghana left-back Edmond Akumensa is optimistic and is asking for support from Ghanaian fans.
Well, I think the important message I would like to tell them is to believe in us, because it's not over yet. And then I think with their prayers and then their support from the first match would help us win this game tomorrow, inshallah.
Also, that was Edmond Akumensa, but still on the Black Meteors, and Black Stars midfielder Majid Ashimeru has shown his support behind the team ahead of the game against Guinea on Friday to stay in the under-23 AFCON. The 25-year-old is confident Ibrahim Tanko can still lead the team to the 2024 Olympic Games.
I have really a good connection with the coach. That's Coach Tanko, and I believe he will do great, because he has what it takes, and also I know the kids who are representing Ghana, and they know what's at stake, and they know why they're the chosen one. So I just believe they have to go show their best and make sure they will do what they have to do and what they know have to do, and I think it's really a good competition for them, and I believe they will really go far, because we have like Fatau, who is also doing really well in Portugal, and he knows what is it to play for Ghana, and making sure that Ghana is also at its best, and so we just have to hope the best for them and pray for them, and making sure we all support them to really take Ghana far, because when they do that, it comes back to Ghana, and everyone will be happy and proud of them.
And so that was Black Stars midfielder Majid Ashimeru, who is speaking ahead of the Ghana's game against Guinea tonight at the Under-23 Africa Cup of Nations. But we'll be coming back to the Black Meteors to look at a discussion on what the team has to do as they face Guinea tonight. But let's just get the latest in the transfer window as we switch our attention to the European transfer window to get an idea of the latest news making the rounds in Europe. Now, here's your transfer up.
Ghanaian left-back Patrick Pozzo has made a permanent switch from Moldovan side Sheriff Tiraspol to Czech Republic outfit Baník Ostrava. The Black Stars player has signed a 2-year contract with his new club. Mason Mount looks set for Old Trafford as Chelsea have finally reached an agreement with Manchester United for his services. The total package amounts to £60 million. Aston Villa have reached an agreement with Villarreal to sign centre-back Pau Torres in a deal worth £35 million. A 5-year contract has been lined up for the Spaniard, who will soon join Unai Emery's squad. French defender Lucas Hernandez has edged closer towards a move to PSG after the Parisians struck a deal worth around €50 million with German champions Bayern Munich. Borussia Dortmund have pulled out of the race to sign Ajax defender Edson Alvarez. Reports have highlighted the German side's unwillingness to pay the €30 million fee for the Mexican. Arsenal verbally agreed a transfer package worth €47 million with Ajax for Juran Timber. The Dutch defender is expected to undergo his medical in the coming days.
So that's the latest in the European transfer window. But let's just quickly go back to the Black Meteors, where we head to the phone lines and speak to my colleague Bill Ishon on the game tonight. Bill, just how important is a win tonight for the Black Meteors?
We really can't stress on how important it is. The Black Meteors need nothing else but a win, because currently they are third in Group A with 3 points. Also, Guinea are second in Group A with 3 points, but Guinea leads on the terms of goal difference. And so the Black Meteors have no other option. They have to beat Guinea. If they draw with Guinea, Guinea would still be ahead of them in qualification terms to the semi-finals of the competition. So the Black Meteors need nothing short of a win in that game today.
Do you think they have it within them to put the humiliating result against Morocco behind them, considering the short turnaround time?
Yeah, it is a short turnaround time, but of course they do have some quality in the team that can help them secure results against Guinea. I mean, looking at the squad, there is Emmanuel Yeboah, who has been fantastic so far this tournament, been a really shining light for the Meteors. Also, and as Nyama, who has shown his quality for North Zealand, who scored the first goal for the Black Meteors in the game against in the first game of the tournament for the team as well. And so they do have some quality. Fatawu Shahaku is also some guy who is lurking around in there who can provide some quality. But they do definitely have to watch out for what Guinea have to offer, because they have two particular players in the squad that can pose a lot of problems. The first one and the main guy of the team is Agibu Kamara. It's Agibu Kamara, who is an attacking midfielder who plays for Olympiacos in Greece. He has experience in the UEFA Europa League and the Champions League qualification, and he's actually played 12 Super League matches last season. Also, their main striker, Agasime Ba, who plays for Olympiacos B and has scored 9 goals in 21 Super League Super League 2 appearances last season. And so these two people, both players actually scored in the last game for Guinea against Congo. And so the team has to really find ways to stop the supply for both players, because if they do get the ball, they can cause a huge number of problems. And that goes back to the defensive side of the team. The defensive side hasn't really impressed, and that is something that Ibrahim Tanko really has to work on and find a way to make that defense stronger, that defense a bit more quicker to the balls, and have a lot more concentration, because we saw a little concentration against Morocco and they punished the team. And so that defensive unit has to be solid enough to be able to deal with the threat that Agibu Kamara poses and the threat that Agasime Ba also poses.
Well, beyond these two players that you mentioned, we've seen Guinea come up against Morocco and almost held their own, losing at the last point, and actually lost because of 2 penalties that they conceded. And then it was kind of a walk in the park against Congo. How strong is this Guinea side based on what we've seen in this tournament?
I mean, overall, they look quite strong. I mean, they do have an average age of around 20 years, but in their 22-man squad that they have, 16 of them are foreign-based players. So they do have that foreign experience. They played all across Europe and beyond, and so are familiar with, the big competition. And that is something that the Black Meteors have to be wary of, because Guinea are no pushovers. They have players who have played in good competition, who have great experience despite their young ages. And so they should really watch out for that. And they have to put on an almost perfect performance to get any good result out of this game.
And Tanko himself, ahead of the game, has been speaking of making changes. What do you think will be some of these changes?
I think during that game against Morocco, a lot of people had some things to say about Ibrahim Danlat as the goalkeeper of the team. He is vice captain, of course, and although most of the goals aren't his fault, people still question his positioning, his concentration, and his ability as a goalkeeper in front of goal. I mean, there is another option in the form of Jordan Emisa, who is a Sheffield United player who has experience in Europe, and so maybe that kind of change could be made as well to see how well he can perform against opposition like Guinea. And we did see what he could bring against Zamalek in the friendly before the tournament. And he saved the penalty as well, and he was good in front of goal, good in between the sticks overall. I think that's the main thing. And I think in defense, some changes would definitely have to be made in centre backs and in the right back positions as well.
And just quite quickly and finally, what are your expectations for the game tonight?
I expect a tightly contested game. I expect champagne football from Guinea and hopefully champagne football from Ghana as well. I think the team hasn't really gelled as much as we expect, but hopefully we see an improvement in passing and improvement in defensive solidity. And overall, I expect end-to-end action from both teams because both of them have good attackers who can score goals, which has never been a problem with both teams.
Well, thank you very much, Bill, for joining us this morning to talk about the Black Meteors who face Guinea at 8 p.m. tonight. A win for the Black Meteors would see them qualify to the semi-finals of the ongoing Under-23 AFCON. Anything but a win would see the team crashing home. Quite a premature end to what has been quite hyped up build-up for the team. Remember, the aim for the team is to ensure that they qualify for the Olympic Games in Paris 2024, something that they've not achieved since 2004. Now let's come back to Ghana before we wrap up, where on Wednesday, the Becky Foundation Orphanage School, a project started by the late Christian Achu, was commissioned. The project was completed after support from a group of donors, including Chelsea, Newcastle and Everton. Speaking at the launch, Member of Parliament for Awutu Senya West constituency, Gisela Tete, called for more support to make Achu's dream of helping the underprivileged come true.
I feel very elated and very happy that this special project, this school that Christian Achu willingly supported, has come to fruition. They're not too comfortable with where their resources will go or where to help, but I think this is a typical example of that. What they said they would do, they have done. And so for those who can give, there are some who have much more than they need, because this is not a want, it's a need. This school is a need, it's not a want. And I just pray that God touches their hearts and they're also able to replicate this in other places. It's better to give than to receive. And I think this is a beautiful legacy of giving. Christian was very involved in sports here, especially with this orphanage. And then also with Cheetah FC, the club, because that is also those were his beginnings, also when it comes to football. So I'm just happy that it's here. As I was talking to the CEO of Cheetah FC, he needs to partner this school because Christian Achu was a small brother. His small brother has done this, and he has a very successful football club. And so I believe that it's going to be education and sports put together. And I was telling the proprietor that he needs to get a team. I mean, I'm literally listing what I think he needs to get. But, it's a step by step. And I'm sure you see great things coming out from this school. I will keep an eye on it personally because I love to help us and support as well, and we have to watch Christian Achu's legacy and take care of it for him.
Well, that's the latest from the Achu project. That's the Becky's Foundation Orphanage School, all the way in Senya Burku. May the legacy of the late Christian Achu continue to live on. My name is Owuraku Ampofo, and that's how we wrap up the sports segment on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. Sunrise continues right after this break.